Kia ora and welcome to the 2019 Turbo Touch Secondary School Nationals here in Auckland, West Auckland to be precise. And check out the weather. It's very good if you're a duck and if you're a tree looking to grow, but it's even better if you're in West Auckland at the Trust Arena. We are coming up to the grand final of our secondary school girls, which will be a showdown between Tokoroa High and Southern Cross. It's been a great day of events here. I'm just taking the mic. George Yonke will be my name, and I'll be joined by Jean Marsh later on, but she's just down on the court at the moment, trying her hand out at the refereeing, our New Zealand international, coming back from the World Cup with the 27 Women's, taking the world title there. But let's get back to the action on the court. There she is, holding the whistle. We've got two teams playing off for their final positioning. You can see her head going left to right with Jean Marsh, keeping eyes on all the action. The speed of this game is intense. The movement is high. Transition from attack to defense is always on the move. It's been a great day here, I heard. I've just come in. I've been in a few appointments up here in Auckland, and I'm lucky enough to be a part of the first ever screening on live stream of the Secondary School Nationals and the first ever screening for Turbo Touch. This exciting game, it gets to take the screen for the first time in 2019. And just a bit about the rules. So if you're new to this game, don't be worried. It's pretty fresh. 5 players on the court. You can pass forward, backwards, sideways, any way you like. Just no kicking. It's a 2-and-2 rule. 2 touches and then you hand over. When you touch someone, you've got to be back 2 meters. And the key thing is you always got to do 2 passes before you go to score the touchdown. So every time you get touched, it resets. And you've got to do 2 more passes before you can score. But the beauty is if you get an intercept, it's open. It's all on. So we're getting pretty excited. We've got about 3 or 4 minutes to go before the girls get into the #1 placing action, which is between Tokoroa High and Southern Cross. It's good to see our counterparts from the Waikato region, or Bay of Plenty if you're in the touch realms. So if we have a look at the court so we can just get an update on how the game has been played or is being played. As you can see, there's a lot of movement going on, and you can pass the ball any way you like, anyhow you like, and any direction you like. There it is. There was a 2-pass action there. She tapped, passed to the boy player, who passed back to her and put it down. So some of the touch players, they might have thought there was a touch and pass in there, but that's where the rule gets a little bit tricky. This rule called the flick-on pass. So if you actually pass the ball on without actually grabbing the ball, you can never get caught up for a touch and pass. So if you're a volleyballer, you've got an advantage in that frame of the game. Right now we can see quite a tight man-on-man defense where players are marking each other. There's a bit of an over-the-top pass there, NFL style. Okay, back to the game, guys, and here we go. 1 minute to go. We've got a bit of action going down here on the court. Hopefully you can get an understanding before we get into these grand finals. So 1-2 pass. The ball is now in play. You can score after 2 passes. Passing forward, looks for a pass over the top. Referee sees a touch and pass on that occasion. Our team in the black shirts will get to restart with a tap ball. And here we go, we're into the action. Showing a bit of stepping. The thing about this game, you've got to be on your toes all the time. You go from attack to defense in a matter of a split second. So 1 minute you're trying to get away from your player, the next minute you're trying to get right back close to them. Here we go, straight over. 1 pass, 2 pass. The ball is now open. Well, the goal is now open to score. That concludes the final of the build-up games as we wait patiently and anxiously for Tokoroa to take on Southern Cross in the Open Secondary Girls Championship for 2019.
Well, until the teams on their round. The next round being round 17. There's only one game, and it's the grand final for our girls grade. Our grand final for our girls grade on quarter one, being live stream between Tokoroa and Southern Cross Campus. 2 minutes, players, 2 minutes. Just a quick reminder that for the finals will be played with 2 8-minute halves with a 1-minute half time. The finals will be played with 2 8-minute halves and a 1-minute half time. One minute players, 1 minute referee. Okay, here we go. Referees, players, 10, 9.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages joining us today live streaming for the Secondary School 2019 Turbo Touch Finals, the showdown between Tokoroa Girls and Southern Cross. The toss has been set. We've selected our top referees for the day to take on the women's grand final. We're just working out what end we're starting from, and it looks like Tokoroa have won the toss and get to start with the ball. Would that be right, Jean?
I actually think that might be Southern Cross. I think that might be Southern Cross in there, George, with the tap off just there. So they'll be starting us off today. So it's a drop ball from Southern Cross with the start off their first set there. So Tokoroa have a good chance to have a strike back here.
Okay, so there's a bit of ball movement at the moment. The ball's gone to ground twice in our first, 3 times in our first 3 plays. The girls are just getting their nerves out of the way. As you can see, once the ball hits the ground, it is a change of possession. So you want to keep the ball off the ground and keep the ball moving. You'll notice there'll be a lot of high-risk plays because you only got 2 touches to set up a few moves. There's 1 touch that's gone. There's 1 pass looking over the top. The dive for the corner. What do you think, Jean?
I think there was a touchdown there in that one, George.
A nice touchdown for Tokoroa to start us off with. They've been a very prominent team throughout the day, well represented throughout this tournament in the boys, mixed and women's, taking it to the grand final.
Southern Cross just struggling to get out of their half of the court with Tokoroa's pressing defence here. They again look to score at the halfway mark.
Jean Marsh, you've been down here all day. How's the atmosphere been going?
It's been really fast.
And how have you been doing as a referee down there?
I've been trying to keep up with it all actually at the moment, so it's quite nice to come up here and get away from it all.
Nice work. So when you said fast and trying to keep up with it, is that mentally or physically?
Oh, I think both. I think the Turbo Touch game is very, very quick. As you can tell, there's only 2 touches in the game, so you've got to do what you can in a short amount of space. So the girls here are, like you said, there's only 2 touches, so you got to have your plan set in stone before you go to attack. Otherwise, you're going to turn over halfway, just like we've seen.
Nice, and it's a good one to develop those fundamental skills of catch and pass. You've got to be on the ball. You've got to be very precise, just like we were there. You can't afford to slip slightly because you drop the ball and it's a handover. So for all those codes, it's a nice one to develop your skill sets, making sure precision is on the day, just like Tokoroa taking touchdown number 2. But Jean, no, I think we have an offside call.
I think we did. I think just in that last one, her foot might have gone on before she put the ball down in that touchdown zone area, which was pretty unlucky because some good footwork and good agility with the pass there for Tokoroa.
Southern Cross get a repeat set. I think it might have been an offside call. The 1-2 opening, the good old 1-2 allows the show and go. She's open, she can score if she likes, she fakes. A nice touchdown there for Southern Cross, taking the score to 1 apiece, I think.
Yep, 1 apiece now. Here we come, Tokoroa heading back down on attack. They're, it looks like they've got quite a talented bunch of players in here. I know number 12 here looks, I've seen her around the rugby scene a little bit more, so she's got the skills of the run, catch and pass and draw and pass game, which is quite handy in Turbo.
Oh, there we go, and the referee's happy with that one for touchdown number 2 for Tokoroa High School, taking the score to 2-1. And then the quick return of defense for Tokoroa takes 2 touches. Now they're hot on attack straight away. Running out of attackers at the moment. Here we go, movement, 1 pass. Pass number 2, open looking for the corner. She didn't want to go herself. Very unselfish play there, very risky play. Taking the touchdown level to number 3.
I'm not sure if she was unsure that she could score there, George, but it come off on the end for them anyway, so they'll take that one and wrap that up at 3-1 for Tokoroa.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Sometimes it's so fast you don't realise if you're open or you need to do one more pass, and I've seen that happen on many occasions in this game. Even the best of them do it, like yourself, Jean.
Never. Beautiful touchdown. Nice agility around the touchdown zone area from number 9, Tokoroa.
Oh, and that was some beautiful movement there and some good vision.
Southern Cross seem to be cramped in this half of their court area. It looks like Tokoroa have some sort of defensive policy to get man on them straight away. That just doesn't allow them to have much time with the ball.
There it is, the fake, and go yourself. Number 9, you talked about her earlier.
Very deceptive number 9. Got good agility and ball skill and aware of everyone around her. Great skill, Tokoroa. And Mark, our referees, called up a touch and pass just around the touchdown zone area. So again, a great scoring opportunity for Tokoroa. Southern Cross now need to set their defensive policy. Good touch there by number 1. And she's back again for the second touch. Well done.
Yeah, this transition's all important. So when you go from attack to defense, you need to be right on the ball because, like I said earlier, you're running away from your defender, and then within a second, you're straight back onto defense. So you need to get close to them. And like you talked about defensive policies, there's a couple that we've seen lately throughout this tournament where it's a nice man-on-man player. So you've got to work with your man. If you get beaten, then openings start to happen in your team to open your way to the scoreline. And there's the kind of the zone defense, which is very familiar with the basketballers, where they just hold some space, not so much pressure.
You're right, George. You can see the different styles and defensive policies. Some of them just like to stay close and within reach, and some of them like to give themselves a little bit of space. And that's just for scenarios where you're going to stay man on man. And sometimes you don't want to get beat, so if there's enough room around you, you've got enough room to chase down as well. And sometimes when you're on the ball and on the target, it's a quick touch and go. So it works either way. You've just got to make sure that everyone's on the same path.
Southern Cross taking a slower approach to this first half of this grand final, where Tokoroa is putting the heat on, and a nice hard defense, making them rush decisions, just like that one. Some quick ball movement puts them ahead 6 touchdowns to 1.
Very nice, Tokoroa. You mentioned it earlier on, George. It's the fundamentals that are working well for Tokoroa. The run, the catch, the pass, but joining all 3 fundamentals into one movement is what's winning them the game at this moment.
1 minute.
Nice work. So you come from a lot of sports, Gene. You've played a lot of sports yourself. With these kids here today, what do you think the backgrounds are?
You can definitely see some netballers, some basketballers in there, and especially with the females, the ones that are setting up for second phase players on Turbo Touch, it's a lot of netball and basketball knowledge in there. And then with the boys, they've obviously got the rugbies, the leagues, the touch backgrounds where the agility, the space awareness is all there. So it's a combination of every sport that you can think of. I think Turbo is inclusive in all of it, so it's really good for all different types in men, women, girls, boys.
Nice work. And that's the beauty of it, right, Gene? You can come from any sport, bring your skill set to this. It's a new game. It's still evolving in development of team structures and so forth, so you can add your own flavour right now. Would that be right?
Yeah, that's definitely right. I mean, the girls love it. I mean, sometimes these girls can compete well against the men that play our game as well, so they're right up there.
Oh, there it is, folks. There's a quick half there, and how quick were those Tokoroa girls racing out to a 6-1 lead in the grand final of the Secondary School Championship. And what a game we've had so far.
Yeah, very good game. Tokoroa obviously have a big structure set in place for their first half. As you can see, the halves aren't that long at all, but when you're on the field court and you're constantly running up and down and your agility moving is back and forth, side to side, you run out of lungs really quickly. So it might seem like a 6-minute half, but you feel like you're running out there for a good 20 minutes.
Yeah, from history over the years, I know Tokoroa picked this game up a few years ago, so they might have an advantage in the coaching systems there at Tokoroa High. I've seen them in action. I'm sure they've been in this predicament over the last couple of seasons in the Secondary School Championship. You were here last year, Jean. Would that be about right?
Yes, I was, and I was lucky enough even today to ref the Tokoroa girls team. They are very skillful at what they do, and they demand a lot of their players. You can see that they have been training for this tournament, and it's a really good thing for them to come all the way here and play our game as well. So well done to Tokoroa for travelling all the way to Auckland to get in the Secondary School Nationals.
Nice, and let's see if they bring the heat in the second half. They started strong in the first. Let's see what the break for Southern Cross has earned them. Oh, nice work. Southern Cross have picked up the heat here with a nice man-on-man defence.
Looks like they've come out, Southern Cross, and they're eager to get a couple of points back. And within Turbo, you can score touchdowns within 3 within the minute. So this is definitely not a game that's done and dusted with that scoreline just yet, George.
Right on the money, nice lot. There's a nice ball threading through the gap, but Tokoroa in the right place at the right time, gets the intercept. On intercept, if you do get touched, the touch count is 0, so you still do have 2 more touches up your sleeve. Here we go, quick play.
Southern Cross's defence has been nice and sharp on this one, George. So they've gone to man on in this half, and it's getting them a lot of turnover ball down in this end of their scoring zone. Great pass and catch there. Well done, Southern Cross. That was just agility. Good pass, catch, and running game. Well done.
Nice one, and we looked at the replay. There's a lot of ball movement there, passing backwards and forwards, just like the netballers do, and then putting a bit of toe on in the end to score in the touchdown zone. Talk us through this touchdown zone, Jean Marsh. What's the story with this rectangle that's floating out there?
So that's where we can make the money in that one there, George. So that's our touchdown zone, and one of them is active at all times, and that would be our scoring zone. And if it's not our scoring zone, it's what we call our inactive zone. So you can run into that one if you like, but this one here, as we see, that would be our scoring zone just down there. And now it's not our scoring zone, it's become our inactive zone.
Okay, so they just ran through the inactive zone, as Jean has said. Down the far end will be the active zone, and we are not allowed to put any part of the body in that zone?
Nothing at all. Ball first, body later.
Nice work. And we can see that touchdown zone doesn't go right to the sideline, so you can run around the sides of it. You can hang out any corner.
It's very nice. It's a good spectacle. I mean, we get some of our players diving and sliding into that touchdown zone, and even jumping from one side to the other and placing the ball first without anybody inside. So it's a very good space to work in. Tokoroa hit back on that one, so it's a 7-2 game at the moment. Just holding the ball nice and good there. Our number 1 from Tokoroa, offloading just in time.
Yeah, good call. The referees had to console with each other about that one. There was a touch made before that touchdown was scored, but like Jean said, someone went into the active zone. So they were offside, so they couldn't make that touch. Southern Cross still keeping up the heat here.
Great pressure there from number 1, Tokoroa. She's been on form all tournament today. I've seen her around the courts just running amok there. She's very skilled. She's obviously got a background in some sport, but she's always on the ball. She's setting up plays for her team. Ooh, here they come.
Oh, I'd love to see that one again, just to see where her feet were. Was it a legal touch or not? The referee has seen it as being an illegal one. So here we go, Tokoroa, one touch up their sleeve.
Great defence there from Southern Cross. As you can see again, George, they've implemented their man-on defence here. And so they're just tracking the Tokoroa girls, and it's not allowing them to get as much space as they had in the first half. But a handling error here has got a turnover, and Tokoroa in prime scoring opportunity now.
And touch number 2, it's a handover here. Just in the last 50 seconds, I counted about 5 handovers within 50 seconds.
Very, very quick game. The girls are trying to make it as quick as they can and catch players offside or even behind the play. So you'll see them try to offload as quick as they can, release the ball as quick as they can, and obviously the faster you go,
the more likely there's a few errors coming into play, as we've seen. But sometimes you don't have any option. You've only got one touch up your sleeve, so it's a Hail Mary now and then. Oh, nice play.
Beautiful pass.
Nice pass and go there into space. Running, good spatial awareness.
That was great there from Tokoroa. Like you said, the fundamentals, being aware of who's running onto the ball.
There's the 1-2 over the top.
Girls diving left, right and centre in the middle here, making touches. Body on the line stuff in our final. Tokoroa still with a good lead here. 3 minutes to go in our girls' secondary schools final. Southern Cross will look to quickly try and get a couple of points on the board.
You heard a good call there from the referee called hold. So when they call hold, that's an indication that 2 seconds has not progressed. So you can't go into the zone until 2 seconds.
Southern Cross School are actually using a flick pass there, Southern Cross are. And the flick pass in turbo touches is not what we call a touch and pass. So if you're in possession of the ball and you flick it to one of your teammates and someone touches you, it's called a flick pass, not a touch and pass. So the player's played on at that point, and you utilize it quite a bit of times down around the touchdown zone.
Well, there goes that 1-2, was in space. Ball didn't go to hand. Tokoroa have 2 more minutes to wrap this game up and take the trophy home back to Tokoroa High, put it in the cabinet, lock it up for another year. Lovely intercept. Touch number 1.
There by Southern Cross. They're again utilising the flick pass, and just unfortunate it didn't come off in the back end of that one. Tokoroa will look to attack here in the last minute and a half.
Oh, beautiful play.
Awesome skill set in the middle there. Quick flick on pass, agility around in the middle. Nice. Back in, touchdown.
I'll tell you what, the scoreboard's not showing it, but the last 2 touchdowns for Southern Cross have been outstanding. Good ball movement, good spatial awareness, passing into space. It's been outstanding.
Very
Probably
good.
the top 2 tries of the...
They have, and they've just got a good turnover here in the last minute, so they'll look to put another couple on the board as well. Oh, out the back door. Haven't seen one of those before, eh, George?
Nice. Well, did the trick, mate. Did the trick. Unfortunately, couldn't get the ball to hand. Penalty offence against Tokoroa with a quick flick on play. Tokoroa get to regather the ball. Touch number 1. Man on D applied for the last 30 seconds. Switch play over the top. Intercept.
Ooh.
And on the intercept, if you get touched as you regather, it's a 0. There it goes, that 1-2 combination.
Oh, unfortunate there at the end, just kind of slipped and missed the touchdown zone.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Tokoroa looking to put the dagger in there for one final play of the match.
Well done. Great solid game there from Tokoroa. Final score 8-3 in our girls secondary schools final.
Oh, what an introduction we had to women's secondary school nationals, with Tokoroa taking on Southern Cross with a scoreline of 8-3, and you can tell they were well rehearsed, well trained and well planned and ready for this grand final. Tokoroa High have got a beautiful trip going back to the promised land. Hopefully they travel safe. We know they'll have big smiles on their dials as they hit the road.
Great tournament from Tokoroa as well. I've been reffing them and just keeping an eye on them throughout the day, and they've been very consistent with everything that they've done. I think that scoreline is quite what they're quite used to within the day that's been happening for them today. So they've obviously put the prep work in for this tournament, and Southern Cross campus with scoring those last 2 in the last 4 minutes of that game, George. I mean, they were just top of the notch tries as well, so you can see how similar the game can be.
Yeah, nice. Southern Cross started a bit slow in the first half, but then they come for business in the second one. But Tokoroa just had a very good lead there that they just needed to hold on to. And the confidence from the first half took them all the way to take the grand final, 8-3. There it is, folks, up on your screen, the grand final for the boys. Or is it the mix coming up next? Actually, ladies and gentlemen, let me read the register here, and it's the semi-finals of the boys. And lo and behold, we have once again Southern Cross doing the goods in the boys section for the semi-finals, taking on James Cook High School.
This will be a thriller, George. Again, I've had the luxury of reffing Southern Cross in the round robins. Extremely fast, extremely powerful, agility and ball skill is right up there, so this will be a great semi-final for us.
Nice work. I wasn't fortunate enough to see all the action today. I was in the office having a few meetings, but I could hear the craze and the loudness of all the students out there supporting their teams today, and what an event it's been. As I come into the room and just saw the atmosphere, it's been all on. What an event, and it's come down to the semi-final here between Southern Cross and James Cook, and your pick, Jean?
Ooh, I'm going to go with Southern Cross on this one. That's just due to the fact that I've been reffing their games throughout the tournament today, and they have been very solid in the games that they've played during the rounds. But as we know, George, semi-finals is a whole different kettle of fish, so we can see who will step up in this time.
Right on the money. Right on the money. The swag's there, the confidence there. The boys are ready to go, and it's action time. One pass, looking over the top with the long ball. NFL Dan Marino wouldn't be too happy with that one as the ball goes to ground.
So that's Southern Cross with the ball there now. They're looking to attack, and that's their first error. Yep, but a bit slippery with the hands there, so we'll give those a wipe and work on the next pass.
Here we go, threading the needle from defense to attack, just like that, in a matter of seconds.
Just like that, and that's as quick as it goes, George. It's a quick game. In a matter of 4 seconds, you're scoring a touchdown for your team, so it's a very, very fast-paced game.
James Cook for touch number 1. Working their way, looking over the top. Referee has already blown the whistle. Could have been an intercept and an open line to the try line. But here we go.
Southern Cross on attack here now, George. Have a look at James Cook's defensive policy, and they're going to stick man on as well. And someone forgot their man.
Number 28 shut the gate. How fast was he? With a couple of passes there and a little split flop dive, whatever you call it, but it was good enough to get the touchdown today.
That was very, very good skill. Our referees have to keep up with the pace of this game as well, George, so they're constantly up and down. They've got a big job keeping an eye of the touchdown zone area, so there's absolutely no bit of the body that's allowed in the touchdown, the active zone area. So their job is to make sure that that stays clear at all times whilst watching players' passes and keeping the count touch. So a big job for our referees today as well.
Ooh. Talk us through some of the plays that happen around that active zone there, Jean.
I think that one, they're looking for the quick one too. So around the active zone where you're trying to score, they're trying to get a quick release off. As we talked about in the girls' game, there is a flick-on pass. So the more times you can utilize your flick-on pass, it's very good around that active zone just to get the ball straight down to the deck and on the try zone. Well done.
I like the way these boys maneuver their body to get the ball down within an instant. Some lovely pass here to the back, and he got down low and fast to score the touchdown. There it is, Southern Cross taking the lead, 3-0. Some of the quick feet coming into action.
Very quick.
2 meters, 2 seconds. It was a little bit early.
Yep, referees.
Oh, referee's happy with that one.
Yep, what he's called up there, George, is the incorrect tap. So the ball must be placed on the ground and released before you can go. A lot of the times we have a bit of a fumble in the ruck there, or where the tap area occurs. That's just due to the fact that at the pace of the game, so everyone's trying to keep up, which means our fundamental skill of a tap kind of goes out the window.
Nice, let's check out that tap ball. Let's see if this guy does a good one. Yep, release from the hands, move with the foot, regather cleanly. And when you're at a frantic pace, sometimes it doesn't leave the hands, or it's not regathered cleanly, or it's fumbled down on the bottom there with your foot. Here we go, nice transition there. Nice turn of pace. One pass.
Great.
Referee's on the spot there. That's the speed of this game. Didn't realise he still needed one more pass to open up that active zone.
So yes, that's a big one as well, George. I mean, before you can score a touchdown, you must pass the ball 2 times. And a lot of the times, again, with the pace, sometimes you're running so fast that you forget that you've only passed it once, and it feels like you've had 3 passes before you've got to the touchdown zone.
Okay, quick transition, might have been delaying play. Ooh, a little tap on the outside line there. Try to sneak it back in, but referee was right on the money with that one. Here we go, quick transition, one pass, over the top.
Great skill set there shown by Southern Cross, but unfortunately pulled up here. James Cook back down now to attack the ball.
Tell you what, this is a frantic game going from one end to the other. Can't keep up with it sometimes. How are these refs doing it?
I'm struggling to keep up from up the top here, George, so I don't know what's going on downstairs here.
Southern Cross just asking about the 2 seconds, 2 meters rule there. Just questioning the referee. But it doesn't matter because the touchdown counts.
Great little intercept there from Southern Cross over the top, clearly in the zone. Well done.
Here we go, 2 meters, 2 seconds. Opens it up with 2 passes. Little jink and go down the sideline. Oh, poor defender, nothing for him to do. 2-on-1 situation.
Southern Cross getting a bit of a roll on here, George, just down the sideline. Sneaking it in there.
Southern Cross learned something from a women's game, knowing they have to start strong, and they've done very well in the first half of the semi-finals of the boys' secondary school 2019 championship. Right now, if I was a coach, I'll be happy with the Southern Cross boys.
Yeah, most definitely. They are using all of their 5 really well on attack there, George. The running game is just killing James Cook at the moment. And again, we go back to the fundamentals, catch, pass, run. Wins every time.
Oh, there we go, lovely hands. Nice touch. What I've seen with the Southern Cross crew there speed over 5 meters has been outstanding. From stop to go has been amazing. It gives them the extra inch that they need to get away.
Yeah, like you said, George, the agility, the footwork, the speed that they can get up to in a short space is very, very good. Utilising all their skill sets here. Footwork, space awareness. Nice intercept there from Southern Cross. But unfortunately a touch and pass down this end, so good scoring opportunity now for James Cook down in their half of the court. They probably need a few more players down by their touchdown zone there, George, the active zone. That's where they need to be scoring points, and they had quite a few players behind the person tapping the ball, so they might need a look to change that for the second half.
Yeah, it's a sort of a natural progression for the rugby players that come into the scene. They're so used to being lateral or passing backwards that that's their natural formation when they stand. So the transition there is they can stand anywhere, so they can look for the forward passing and so forth. So that's an advantage as the basketballer may have. You can stand anywhere on the court. You've got someone posting up down the end. So that's a good transitional phase for a basketball player coming into this game.
Yeah, you're exactly right, George. It almost looks like at times they're running a rugby setup move, and then they forget that they can actually pass the ball forward. As long as they don't kick the ball forward, they're good to go. Three and a half more minutes in this semi-final in our men's division. Southern Cross look comfortable down in their touchdown area.
Yeah, a little bit of debate there about whether it was 1 or 2 passes if the zone was open. Dion's on the spot calling only 1 pass, so it's a handover. But no, straight back to Southern Cross. Needs 2 passes to open that zone. There's 1. Looking for 2.
Great catch and pass there, George. Again, utilising that flick pass or even just quick ball movement with that touchdown there. James Cook need to get down to their half of the court. As you can see, there's quite a few of them just down on the defensive end, and Southern Cross turnover. Lucky tip down there from James Cook. Running out of the room. That quick, George, that they can't even stop before they run out of the court. So that's just an indication of how fast these boys are running in short amount of spaces. James Cook want to get something on the board before their 2 minutes is up, so they'll look to head down to their touchdown zone, their active zone. And that's much better there. You can get it over the top there. Perfect. There we go.
They heard you, Gene. And that was precision. The old pass and go, losing their man, going into space, leaving the defender isolated with 2 players. And there it goes. Putting the ball down before going into the active zone. Touchdown. And touchdown again for Southern Cross.
Yes, and he came all the way from halfway to score that, so that's just an indication of how much running you actually do in a short amount of space as well, George. I mean, it was from halfway to a touchdown in a 1 second time frame, so these boys are very quick, and this game is run at a very high intense pace.
There it is, Southern Cross again. I think the major difference today, Gene, for Southern Cross against James Cook is the transition. Southern Cross are all over that ball as soon as they get possession, and they're straight into attack mode. And when they lose it, they're straight into defense mode, which is very frustrating for the James Cook crew.
Yes, and their structures that they have defensively are very good as well. As you can see, they don't approach until their 2 meters or 2 seconds is up, so that allows the game to be handled in their way. If they're any closer, they'll get pulled up for offside, then they're behind the 8 ball a bit. So they're stuck to the rules of the 2 meters and 2 seconds, which is working for them. always pressure on someone receiving the ball. Southern Cross will look to finish off here. Dots down nicely in the corner there.
Beautiful. Beautiful. With 24 seconds to go on the clock, James Cook looking to get another one on the board. Touch number one up the sleeve. Well, no sleeves for these guys. They got the guns out today.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
So James Cook will probably have one last tap here to finish the game if they want to take that one, and then they can finish off with this last play.
There it is, half-time. And what a lead the Southern Cross team have with a scoreline of 8-1 over James Cook. Be good to be a fly on the wall as we go into the half-time break, where the coaches have an opportunity to talk to all their players.
The next round is the grand final for the mixed grade. Only one game. On fourth one being the on-screen.
There we have it, folks. I've just been told it is full time. It was that fast, I didn't even see half time. It's a day of learnings today. First time on TV, first time commentary, and first time learning about the processes of how secondary schools is run for 2019. What a spectacle we have.
That's just how quick the game is, George. I mean, we're up here thinking we've only been watching for 4 minutes, yet there's been a full game of Turbo Touch being played right before our eyes. Great game, and with the boys division, it's so much quicker, it's so much more faster that the game just goes like that.
Cool, and I think they're tapping us on the shoulder saying we're okay, Gene, because I think in the rounds, because it might be classified as a round game, that's straight through, no half time. Phew.
You got saved on that one there, didn't you?
Well, I just made that up anyway, so.
Well, we'll take it.
So, Gene, you're a coach developer in the county's Manukau region. When it comes to developing touch, so you're linking all your kids to pathways, so a lot of the girls are going to rugby, league, netball, that type of stuff, and touch is one of their foundation sports. And then they can either take the pathway to touch blacks or whatever code they like. That's the beauty of what touch is. But this is another angle for you with the Turbo Touch, this new game. How does that link to what you do in the schools?
Well, it's nice for us to have some sort of link for our touch code anyway, and Turbo Touch I feel is really handy for us. Because it's not linked to anything else, we can use it as a channel to filter into our touch code game, and the skill set that you have from Turbo can only implement much more bigger things for our touch game anyway. Like you said, and we talked about it all day, the catch, pass and run is very hard to beat, and in a game of touch, if you can catch and if you can pass and you can run and you can do those three things well, we're already halfway there.
Nice, and if you can do it at high speed like these guys are, then you're more than halfway there, right?
Well, that's always handy. I mean, speed is not my biggest forte, but the catch, pass and run game, I'm not too far off.
Very good, very good. And as we know, Turbo Touch is one of the most used sports in the secondary school system, used for NCA programs and just as a development sport. It's a great cross code for all sports to chuck them into a team where they can utilise their skill sets.
And as you see, we've got our mixed game in front of us as well, George, and that's another bonus at secondary schools, is that you get to play in the mixed code. Sometimes schools are small and they have a few girls and a few boys, so it's always handy to have a mixed code, which Turbo Touch allows, and then we get them joined up to play in the one team.
And they're putting on a show for us already, as we have for the grand finals, the mixed showdown between Manurewa and Tikipuna.
Nice, and I can already see from the start of this game that we've got a few touchies in here. A few local touch players in here have moved up to Tiki School to help out, so a few of our county's boys and playing with Northland Touch, so it's good to see our code of touch as well being utilised high in the Turbo Touch scene. Tiki will come back on attack now and just getting rid of that first pass. So again, Manurewa putting the pressure on defensively and making Tiki turn and fumble that ball there, but they're going to answer with their own defensive set here. 2 touches, that's all you get, George, to try and attack. So if you get touched in a small amount of area, that's the defensive policy working.
Nice work, and I think these teams have got their groove as they take this grand final on court 1. We're starting to get our groove on the mic now, understanding and trying to keep up with the speed. What a job we've got today. First time on the mic, but man, she's a boomer.
We'll just make sure we work on that half-time call, George. That's our only issue. Tiki looked here to score. They're down here in our touchdown zone, but it's turnover now to Manurewa. And like that, just a quick turnover, no mucking around, straight into it. We've lost a shoe, but who cares? Let's keep going. Great intercept there from 10 from Tiki. Offside call looks like in that one there, George.
Yep.
So she's taken note.
Resets.
Yes, there we go. Ball to ground, actually. Tiki turnover.
Yep, back into the game with 2 shoes. Knocks the ball down to ground. Tiki Puna. Here we go with one pass, looking for one more. Opens it up.
Touch 2. Hands over. Manurewa hot on attack again. Again, not wasting time. With turbo, it's called turbo for a reason. It's nice and fast. If we wanted it didn't want it fast, we'd probably call it snail touch.
Love it. I think that's the style I play.
I'll join you if you're playing that one as well.
Yeah, Tiki.
Manurewa.
Touch number 1. Looking long.
Great
Utilising
pass,
the
great
old
skills.
15-metre ball.
That was great. Great ball down from one touchdown zone, one active zone, all the way down to the other touchdown zone.
Nice movement.
Tiki looked like they're staying man on man there, George, and Manurewa trying to use the good, great flip pass there. The good cuts and trying to switch the defenders up from Tiki to get them into a bit of space there. Tiki look to score down in their active zone there, so they're nice and close. We'll see what they can put on here. One touch. So one touch left up their sleeve, George. Having to stay out of it. And again, Boston Kake with the back flick pass. We all know he gets that from his father, Bruce Kake, who's a big touch player in our scene anyway. So it's good to see them jumping codes and switching codes over to turbo touch.
Oh, there's some great footwork there. Man on man, good defense, or man on female.
Yeah,
beautiful
it was
defense.
There. It was there. Agility from our Manurewa team, and then great defensive skill set from Tiki to stay man on that one. Great skill set. Nice pass there from Madison. Now number 7 from Tiki. Just done a big defensive set and was available in the corner to score their touchdown.
A little bit of indecision on how to restart the game there. So a few new kids to the game, and just to remember there's a little midpoint behind the active zone where you need to start the game from. There's no time limit on when you start that, so you can get into it straight away after a touchdown. You don't have to wait for the referee to call it.
And it looks like the score we've got here, Manurewa 1 and Tiki 1. I'm not sure if that score's correct there, George.
Yeah, I'll just get out the calculator and I'll go with one apiece. Yeah, I'm happy with that one.
Let's stick with that. Who are we? Nice touch there. Manurewa look to hit back here. Nice. Again, Tiki number 1. Number 7, hot on defense. She ends up with the male player there. Boston in the corner. Big, nice long ball from number 10. Female to male, that's the joys that we get, George, with having a mixed code at secondary schools. So it was the female with a nice long ball.
Beautiful long ball.
Unlucky there, Manurewa. Nice skill set.
I tell you what I've seen a lot of I usually call it a mismatch when you've got a male and female and the mixing, trying to get an advantage there, but there's no such thing in this game. Tiki have been all over it, and as soon as they get the ball back, you see that pass there. Touchdown action.
It's good to see in that one with the mismatch, George. I mean, a lot of the times we call it a mismatch in touch, and we try as hard as we can to get female on female or male on male. In turbo touch, the game is so fast, you end up having whatever's in front of you, and if it's a male and you're a female, there's nothing wrong with that. You just take it and run.
So what you're saying here, if you're a female, this is the pinnacle for a female player playing in this grade?
Most definitely. If you're a female turbo touch player and you're playing against males, it's quite a high level. Obviously, the intensity and agility is quite quicker off a male. And when you've got females defending males, it's a very good win for them.
Yeah, and the big difference here, like netball, you're positional, so you can be down in an attacking zone or defensive zone or shooting zone, where here, as soon as the ball's hand over, you can be anywhere. You're straight on attack as the baller, or you can be a defender, or you can be mid-court. Here we go, Tiki.
Ball just a little bit behind the back there of Tiki number 6. Manurewa, nice pass there.
Nice movement, nice vision, over the top. Nothing to lose, back flick as he goes to out of play, but there was a foot in the touchdown zone.
Yep, offside there in the touchdown zone there from Manurewa. So Tiki will look to come down. Nice bit of space awareness here. Bit of a falcon in the back there, George.
Yeah, good defense there. He was just man on. He didn't worry about the ball. He just said, you're not getting anything past to me. He just got a little bit of ball in the back of the head. But they get possession.
So Tiki putting on a man-on zone here, but we've got a turnover just in the far corner. 30 seconds left to go in this half.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jen, we've got a game on our hands. 3-1 with 30 seconds to go in the first half. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We're in the first half. Nice skill set, that's it. Good challenge for the ball there from Manurewa. Still 10 seconds on the clock, which is plenty of time to score a touchdown and turbo touch. Manurewa's got to get the ball down this end. Bit of a switch up there. Long ball down the back here. Good half from Tiki in the first half of the mixed final.
There it is, 3-1. Tiki Puna taking the lead. As you said, Jean, there's a few touchies in there. Would there be any New Zealand representatives that you can recognise that are in the programs?
Yes, I think if we have a look at Tiki Punga School, we have Boston Kake, and he's been an under-16 New Zealand development representative for our touch code. So it's good to see him firstly in the Tiki Punga School uniform and also out here playing turbo touch.
Very good, and the coaches take their position as adding advice on what they need to bring for the second half. Manurewa regathering, calling it all in. Nice team call. Body language has shifted, so they look ready for action this time. We noticed in the last minute of that game it went more structured and became a bit of chess there. It slowed down the pace and the passes were going to hand, but it became even on defence. Tiki Puna with the ball, starting on your screen from right to left. Looking for the two passes. One pass,
nice
two.
Combo set up there. Good touch, number 2, Manurewa. So he's tailing his Tiki defender.
Oh, nice
and
flick
he's
on.
With awesome. Great defence there from Manurewa. So they have come out with the policy of sticking man on, and that worked for them in the first 30 seconds of the opening of this game, of the second half.
Oh, there's the flick on down the sideline.
Great skill set, number 1. She's been on form.
Tiki Puna just puts a hand out there and makes the touch. For touch number 2, gets possession in the hand of the Tiki crew. Referee has a look at that one. It's a recount. Back to Tiki. Mr. Kake, the ball player, feeds off for 1. One touch gone. Nice quick hands, good movement. Manurewa takes touch number 2. Nice quick play between the players. Now we've got a mismatch going on. Must be a player free.
This number 1 here for Manurewa, George, she's been very strong female in this Manurewa team, so she looks like she's directing a lot of the play down here on attack, which is great for the female. And defensively, she's always right where she needs to be, so she's been a key part of this Manurewa side.
Yeah, the quick 1-2.
There she goes again, just with a nice touchdown. just when they needed to make that 3-2.
You talked about it earlier. Here's that tap around the zone. Flick on, ball down. Just remember, you can't get caught for a touch and pass if you don't grab the ball. So it's called a flick on. If you touch them, it's still play on. Utilised very well. One of ours in the coaching manual of their coach at half-time.
I think it was. Lucky turnover there for Tiki. They get another recount, so that's one touch up there, one touch left to score. Number 10 from Tiki was looking for that quick flick on George, but controlled just out of sync on that one. Manurewa looked to punish here. Great.
That's it, quick transition. I love it.
Speed.
There it is.
Great skill set there. Nice, quick 3 to 4 passes in the space of 2 seconds. I think that was George. So that's just how fast these teams can play this game. Skill set there.
There's the intercept that's open. Don't forget, if you get an intercept. Oh, there we go. How's the footwork around that zone?
Foot on the line, I think, in that one.
The old size 10s. That moment in time, she wished she had a size 7.
Again, and the males of the Tiki are not afraid to throw the pass around, whether it's a female or a male. They're going to throw the ball into space and expect their players to run onto the ball. And as a female, that's awesome that the boys don't wrap the girls up in cotton wool, because they're not about that in this code.
Comes down with the first touch. Still 1 to go. Over the top, intercept play. Just like that, from D to attack in half a second. Touchdown, Manurewa.
Now we're on, George. It's a 3-all ball game. Tiki with the ball. Manurewa have tightened up their defensive set there. And again, just a drop ball around the in-goal zone.
Well, well, well. We've got a shift in the tide at the moment with Manurewa with a bit of confidence, scoring the last 2 touchdowns. Touch number 1, pulling out the elusive step. Maybe a flick on. Touch number 2.
Great defensive set there by number 11 from Tiki. She stayed man on and chased all the way. But again, great intercept by our female, number 3 from Manurewa.
Oh, the footwork. Number 5 is alive. Alive, I say.
That was quick, and that was great agility there from the Manurewa number 5.
Whack, whack. Off the lefty, beautiful. In the show and go. There it goes, 1-2. It's always a hard one to put that one down when a defender's all over you. Showing the gridiron skills here. One pass over the top.
Pass. Unfortunately, no one there for Tiki, so they'll look to defend here in their half. 3 minutes to go.
I can see some of the spectators that are watching this, or the viewers at home, going, "What? Why is he passing it? It's a terrible pass." But just remember, they've only got 2 touches, so it's better to give a risky one than nothing at all, because you're going to get touched anyway and hand over. So that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it might look messy, but that's not messy. Number 6 touching down and taking the lead, 4-3.
Great skill set there from Manurewa. Again, they are just playing this game at pace, and any turnover, any drop ball, they're on the money and looking to attack and head down to their scoring zone.
Tiki Puna being a little bit guilty of the transition, going from attack to defense, which Manurewa have capitalised on. 1-2, little foot out of play.
Here's our number 1 looking for a quick tap there.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. You've heard that many times over the years.
The good old 2 minutes. All we need is some music and we're ready to go. Number 5 from Manurewa has been sharp today, George. The agility of him, the speed.
Oh, there it is, the intercept. Referee was looking for advantage. The Tiki Puna team going into the touchdown zone, which is an offside moment. Manurewa going out of play.
Still enough time here for Tiki to at least draw this game up, George.
Oh, definitely.
and open it up for a drop-off.
Definitely. You've mentioned you can score 3 touchdowns in 40 seconds. It has been done. A bit of a grab there.
Boys just feeling each other out there and playing some finals footy.
Yeah, the boys from the south side, they know each other well by the looks of their steps.
Turnover here for Tiki, so still a minute to go here, so they'll just need a quick try here, George, and then
it's all on. One touch, one to come.
Manurewa just staying
Looking for the flick.
composed at the moment.
Ooh. Carried on running. Boston Kaki had the right idea. 30 seconds to go. There's a nice flick on, and the intercept. Regathers the intercept. Touch 0 is the call. Tiki looking for the flick.
Nice. Manurewa look to hold this one out there, George. They're composed in the last 20 seconds. All that they need to do, they need to hold on to the ball and get down to the end of the court. Last 10 seconds of this match.
It's 2. Oh, beautiful. Nice little touchdown there. We've got a bit of confusion. The spectators are thinking it's a draw. But if I go to my screen, I've got it as 5-4. I'll just go upstairs just to double check that we're working off the right score system. But looking at the faces of Manurewa, I think they have this one. They're happy with the scoreline. It's 5-4. And what a game we had, Jean.
That was a super quick game there. The game of mixed turbo touch is always very good. Like we said, there's no difference between a female and a male playing turbo touch there, George. The females are quite happy to play against males in this arena, and the males having a really good with the females, and don't take them lightly and don't wrap them up in cotton wool. So it's really good code here.
Oh yeah, they're starting to bring the noise. It means go showboat time. Grand final, Secondary School Boys Championship 2019. Grand final coming up soon.
Looks like we've got Southern Cross campus again in our boys final, George, and again I've had them through the round robins. They are very strong, solid, fast team. So if we thought that mixed game was fast, we've got another game coming up which was going to be even quicker. Boys are in their last final preps, doing their warm-up there.
Yep, just been informed. It's been decided who's in the grand finals. It's Southern Cross taking on Manurewa. Referees having the ref spiel, just making sure the love's there on the court. No lovers, no haters. It's all on.
Looks like Southern Cross have won the toss there, George. They'll be starting at the back of their touchdown zone there, where they take the tap to start the game. Manurewa got their 5 boys on ready to start, so you start with 5 players on in turbo touch, and you can interchange as much as you like. The subbers will be waiting at halfway, and there's no limit on substitutions here, George, because the game is so quick and the players get so tired. The turnover can be for as many times as you like. So the subbing rotation group here in turbo touch is just as quick as the game. Southern Cross look to tap off first, and Manurewa will be the defensive side. And it looks like already Manurewa have chosen to go man on defensively. So they're not going into a space or zonal marking pattern. They'll go man on and look to put the pressure on Southern Cross straight away.
Nice work, and that's a good summary there, Jean. As we had the grand final of Manurewa taking on Southern Cross. Nice good footwork there for the start of the game. Expect to be razzle-dazzled with the quick feet of Southern Cross after we saw them in the semi-finals. They are looking good. Manurewa needs to bring a good A game for this one. Touch number 1 calms it down. Sizes it up. Defense is tight. Flick over the top. Here's touch number 2. Manurewa What a great start.
Great defensive set from Manurewa. They stated earlier on that they were going to go man on, and they stuck to their policy really well, keeping Southern Cross in their half on their attack with the ball. So they'll look to turn over and attack this one. Great skill set there. Back to one here from our referee. Bit of a discussion here. Play on there, Southern Cross ball, look to attack. Bit of confusion there, George. So it's 2 meters, 2 seconds, and a lot of the players make it their 2 seconds, and they must remember that it's at the referee's discretion with the 2 seconds. So there's a little bit of confusion there sometimes where players think they're onside with the count of their 2 seconds.
Nice call, and I can see the tempo has increased since the last time we saw these boys play. Everything is on the line with this game. The grand final, the winner takes home the trophy and the title of 2019 Champion of Champions for the secondary schools.
Great skill set there shown by Southern Cross. Unfortunate in the last pass there. Manurewa, great defence, utilising their flick-on pass as much as they can.
Yeah, nice little volleyball pop there. Keep the ball alive. Southern Cross regroups with 4 players all in the blanket area. Takes touch number 1, flicks off around the outside, down the sideline. You're either fast or last, and Southern Cross aren't last on that occasion, taking the score to 1-0.
That was great skill set shown there by Southern Cross, and they're looking to defend quite a bit of pressure here on Manurewa, so they're looking to stay man on and go as early as they can. Got pulled up in that set there.
Yeah, just a little bit of clarity on the rules. You've got... Yeah, he's happy with that one. So Southern Cross take another dot, taking it 2 up.
I think he was a bit
nice
unsure.
Intercept.
Yeah, he was a bit unsure there on that one, George. He intercepted it, and with an interception, it's open straight away. So he was looking to see if he needed a pass 2 times before he could score. He was quickly told he didn't.
Southern Cross working on the energy, working the quick feet. He's open. He's going to show and go. Referee in the perfect position to call that one. Touch number 1. You have the opportunity of taking the ball right by the zone or taking it back 2 or 3 meters. Oh, nice little flick on. Hits the deck. Referee's happy with the touch. Touch number 2. Hand over possession. Manurewa. Tight defense. Oh, beautiful hands. Oh, there it is.
That's a skill set in itself, George. Putting the ball into space and letting your players run onto it and expecting them to get there where you've placed the ball. So that was a great touchdown there from Manurewa.
Oh, it was beautiful. The player slightly got beaten, which forced the back defender to come forward off his man, which opened up the back hole for a touchdown for Manurewa. Nice intercept. You've got to be slick with those passes. Here it is. He's not happy with that one. He says, I eat those for breakfast, and today it wasn't on the menu.
Manurewa looking to calm things down a little bit here. As you can see, these boys are giving the ball away on touch 1, so they must be aware that there is 2 touches and to utilise both touches.
Oh,
so Manurewa looking to... Oh, great. Unlucky there. Southern Cross will look to hit back and attack there. Great skill set shown from Manurewa High.
What a great final we have, showing a good array of skill. Long balls, quick passes, good quick feet, agility, soft hands, just like that, to himself. Ball to ground, and then with the speed, you get some little errors like that that I'm not happy with.
Boys are getting a little bit frazzled here in this one, George. So the tempo of the game is right up there, so there's no time for mucking around. So we're just trying to make sure the refs are taking control. And the boys have seemed to settle down a little bit in this zone here. They'll look to use a lot of their skill sets to attack there. Great defensive set there for Manurewa, again staying man on. And Southern Cross will implement the same defensive policy with staying man on so that each man is pressurised with the ball.
The ability of these guys right across the board. No matter what play you are on the court, out of your 5 players, it looks dangerous for both sides. Manurewa with the ball in hand. Touch number 1, gets a little shove. Is referee okay with that one? Ask for another one. Just showing I still love you, bro. Let's keep going. Let's keep the flow going. Looking to the back court. Referee has spotted an offside. Defensive player has gone into the zone, which allows Manurewa to get a repeat set.
So all our boys are down around our touchdown zone there, and great intercept there from Southern Cross. So once he catches the ball, George, it activates his touchdown zone. So he was allowed to run in the touchdown zone that was previously being scored in.
What great skill, getting that long ball on the run. It's very scary trying to catch a ball over the shoulder, knowing that the defender's right on you. There you go. Yep, that's what happens when you try and do the tap as quick as possible. Some of those finer tuned skill sets get lost with speed.
Lots of speeds shown in this game, George, but I'd like to see it probably not so fast. The control of the ball and the control of the plays is probably going a little bit out the window at the moment due to the speed, so these boys will need to look to implement better skill to finish off with their speed.
Oh, the flick on.
That was beautiful.
Sorry to interrupt you, Gene, with some brilliance there from Southern Cross. Taking the lead, I think. I think it could be 3-1.
Yeah, I think you're right, George, and that's a nice way to go into halftime in such an intense final.
Loses his man, looks to the corner.
Touch and pass.
Referee Trevor Nickel spots a touch and pass. Which allows Southern Cross to get another crack in the 30-second mark of this final in the first half. Over the top, great hands, great awareness. One pass, opens it up with his 2. The ability to score now. He looks over the top. Oh, the opportunity was there. If it was on the touch field, he would have ate that up with a nice dive. He had a second thought about diving on the court. He's still got another half to play.
These boys are just coming out of nowhere for intercepts at the moment, George, so it's a very fast, skilled game. And that brings us to halftime of our men's final.
What a delight, what a privilege to be a part of this, guys. First time ever live streaming the Secondary School 2019 Championship, the grand final between Manurewa and Southern Cross, showing their goods as they did in their semi-final. Winning the semi-final 8 points to 1, I think it was.
Yep,
They
you're right
started
there,
this
George.
one strong with 3 points to 1. If you were down there, Gene, looking to coach these boys from Manurewa, what would you be saying to them?
I'd probably, as fast as I like the game to go, they need to slow it up a little bit to implement their catch and pass game. So they're going that fast that they're actually doing little errors in the ruck. So the simple task of tapping in without a fumble needs to be sorted out before they can even address the bigger issues there, George. So tidy up the basics there and then open up with the running game a little bit later. So hopefully they'll look to implement that in the second half. I don't think there's anything wrong with their defence at the moment. I think it's just their ability to score on attack is what's holding them back.
Nice, so you're saying that Southern Cross had more opportunities due to their ill skill set at speed. The accuracy's not quite right.
That's right, and they're giving opportunities away right down by their Southern Cross's touchdown zone as well, so that just makes it easier. So hopefully they'll turn that around second half. Dion taking control of the first touch there.
You're right, Gene, they've slowed it down, make sure those fundamentals are right.
Out of bounds there from Southern Cross. Need to put a step on and stepped out the back.
Touch number 1, one more touch to go. Southern Cross working, oh, how did he go through that gap?
Wow. That was a great little play there from Manurewa number 1. Tiniest of gaps to move through, and he still managed to peel through one of them, George.
Nice bit of footwork. Touch number 1, gets away from his player, looks over the top, flicks it to himself. looks for a touch. Manurewa with the honesty call. No touch from me, sir. Goes with the quick play. Southern Cross get another one on the tally sheet. Looks to pass to himself, but unfortunately, if you get touch, the touch still counts. Oh, look at the movement, just like that. 2 touchdowns in a matter of seconds.
Southern Cross have come out with a lot of intensity in the second half, George, so their defensive is still solid and strong, and their attack skills have just improved and gone so much more faster that Manurewa are struggling to keep up at the moment.
Moving the ball 3 passes. You only need 2 to open up the zone, so they're ready to kill, ready to get the points on the board with a nice late cut. Over the top to the back zone, almost taking out the cameraman.
Great setup in that one for Manurewa. Just the last pass, the final pass, probably didn't need to be so hard. There was 2 Manurewa people, the players there, waiting to be scorers for a touchdown, and unfortunately that pass was delivered just a little bit too hard.
Would have been a great pass for LA Luke, you know, if it was Steve Adams would have slam dunked that one, but a bit too high today for
perfect.
The turbo touch scene. Nice quick play.
Manurewa need to keep Southern Cross down in their half here, so that it gets some opportunities to score, with our score being 5-1.
Through the gap.
They're quite good at that, George. They're finding little gaps around the Southern Cross defensive set. And again, it's just the last final pass that's not coming together for Manurewa.
There's nothing wrong with the skill set and the ability and agility of these players, and the ball passing is amazing. I think they just need to keep moving Manurewa, keep working the Southern Cross boys so the holes start to open up. But when you stand off against this Southern Cross team, they're very good on defense, so you need to do a little bit more on attack.
Yeah, that's it. They're playing behind the play a little bit, Manurewa are, and that's sitting nicely into. Perfect. There we go. Great dive. Unlucky there. Touch there. Great defense, Southern Cross. But we've got a penalty just down here. Referee Trevor has called an offside from Southern Cross, so great scoring opportunity down here for Manurewa. Still plenty of time in this game, George, if they can get one more on the board and be the next to score. Touch 1 there, so obviously they need 2 passes to be scoring a touchdown. A little bit unsure there, Manurewa. Southern Cross look to attack here, and again they're straight on the ball. Nice ball movement.
Not too fast.
Great place. Great speed shown there by 21 Southern Cross campus, and great ball delivery too. Nice out in front and a nice dive to finish on the indoor court. Can't get better than that.
Manurewa choose to take their first 2 passes nice and early, which opens up the ball game, allows them to score straight away. 1 pass over the top, quick flick. Soft hands might have been appropriate on that occasion. Oh, nice movement. Nice movement. Oh my God, it was too easy, it was hard. 3-on-1 situation. Unlucky.
I think that should have been awarded just because it looked so good there, George, but unfortunately a couple of passes out, maybe 3 passes out, but the skill set still keeping the ball alive, agility to stay inside the field, and just probably a little toe on the line to not put that touchdown through there.
Oh, nice rush D. Through the gap, looking for the flick, intercept taken, touch 0. Little touch from behind. Little sneaky one there, getting the touch and pass. 1 pass, here's the movement, this is what they need. Ooh!
That might have been a great scoring opportunity there for Manurewa, but a little bit too long to put the ball down. Southern Cross turned that around and looked to attack straight away.
Option was right, looking for the flick on. The unmarked man on the corner of the touchdown zone. Didn't go to hand. Yeah, missed opportunity there by Manurewa. I think it might have been a bit of stiff leg, not wanting to get down and low. Looking for an extra pass. Nice step. Is referee happy with the 2 meters? He is. 2 meters, 2 seconds. Touch counts. Touch 1.
Trevor's spotted something in there, so it's still Southern Cross ball. And they'll look to seal this game off with a couple of more touchdowns in there. Looks like they've still got lots of legs to run around with at the pace that they're going there, George.
Yeah, referee Trevor Nickel, I think he spotted an offside in the call of getting into the zone before 2 seconds was up. So he went 2 meters, but he didn't wait 2 seconds. Nice flick on. Ball to ground. Manurewa have to bring the heat. Put a bit of risk into play. Need to keep moving, putting the pressure on.
Southern Cross are quite happy just to play around a little bit down this end, and then with a skill set like that, they go from super slow to super quick there, George, and that's just another skill set that you add in your bag of tools. Look at that.
Manurewa again open up nice and early, but unfortunately there's not enough movement around the back to free up a player. Touch number 2. The defense is too strong today for Southern Cross.
Touch and pass there from Southern Cross. Nice little plant down in our touchdown zone from Southern Cross, but unfortunately it was a touch and pass higher up here. Manurewa will probably have the last opportunity to score a touchdown here.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him on the outside, looks over the top for the corner.
Oh, bit of a Hail Mary there, George, but could have worked out if we had a little bit more flair on the back end.
10 seconds to go. Southern Cross with the gamesmanship. Like basketball, counting down the clock. They're happy to call it quits. And they're happy to call themselves the champions for 2019. The secondary school champs is none other than who, Jean?
The Southern Cross Campus School. Nice big final for our men's game here today. They had a great semi-final, George, winning that 8-1 and not too far off winning their final 6-1 against Manurewa. So a really, really good performance from Southern Cross Campus.
Very, very good performance from Southern Cross Campus. And I'll tell you what, I had trouble keeping up with my eyes, so I don't know what it was like being down there as a player on that court. The speed was amazing. The off-the-mark pace of these young lads is crazy. 1 second they're right beside you, the next second they've got an inch on you, half a meter on you, and it's always hard to chase that down when they get in such a confined space of the court. Touchdown time is coming.
And like you said, George, there's only 5 players out on the court, but any 5 that are on the court have the same amount of ability to do exactly the same as the ones that are sitting waiting to be subbed on. So you don't get any rest when you're defending such a strong, solid squad.
Yeah, and I think both teams worked it very well to keep the intensity of that game. Rolling subs throughout the whole game, getting on there, working hard, getting off, and that just showed by the pace of the game maintained throughout the whole game. And what a game we have, and what a spectacle for the first time ever on live stream. The secondary school touch nationals for 2019, and winners are grinners. Southern Cross get one. They'll be happy as they make their trip home, back to their school, and getting the heroes welcome.
Yeah, awesome work, Southern Cross. They've obviously put in a lot of work here. Boys are rapt to take away that final. They've had quite a good tournament with their women's as well, so it's been really, really good for Southern Cross Campus and even Manurewa High.
Oh, beautiful day, and it's been a beautiful day here at Trust Arena on the inside as the Ducks enjoy the weather on the outside. No better place to be to see this good stuff. Thank you for joining us at home. Thank you for joining us at school when you should have been doing your calculus. And thank you to all the supporters and everyone made this possible today. Play it, love it. Turbo Touch. What a game.